Good morning, everyone. I'm Rasesh Shah here, technology evangelist with PayPal, right here from Innovate in San Francisco. The excitement here is fantastic, and I have with me James Senior, who is the evangelist for a webmetrics product. And we have just released a toolkit, a PayPal toolkit on webmetrics, and we're going to discuss a little bit about webmetrics and this particular toolkit and how it helps developers to kind of build exciting applications. So James, tell us a little bit about webmetrics.
Sure, so it's exciting to be here. Thanks for inviting us. Today we're announcing this toolkit, which is for use in webmetrics to help people build websites using PayPal's services even more easily. So let's just talk about webmetrics and what is it. It's a tool and a framework that makes it really, really easy to build websites and web applications. So we've basically got a really good platform at Microsoft for building websites and web apps to begin with. Mm-hmm. But what we've done is we've kind of provided a layer on top which makes it really simple. So we wanted to take away kind of all of the complexity that people have when they're typically building websites and just make it super easy. So that's what webmetrics is about. You get a tool, you get a web server, database server, which is file-based as well, so you don't need to set anything up like that. And then also a new syntax for creating the actual web pages, which is super lean. And that's something called Razor, which is...
This is super exciting. So tell us more about how this, the PayPal helper which we released, right? We worked with you guys to kind of release this toolkit. Now how does the developers can take advantage of that?
Cool. So the helpers themselves are kind of code shortcuts to make it easier to include commonly used functionality. So as well as the work we've done with PayPal, the helpers in the box, we've got things like Twitter, Facebook, that make it really easy to add kind of social integration. And then of course PayPal is a great way to do payments with your website. So we've created helpers that make it really easy to add things like Button Manager API into your website, so you can manage the buttons on your website, as well as the new adaptive payment API. So we've got some exciting ways for people to easily integrate things like simple pay, chained pay, and all that good stuff.
So tell us a little bit about more, some of the samples you have built around chain payment. Can you talk a little bit more about that? I mean,
yeah, chain payment is one of my favorites actually. So if you're not familiar with chain pay, it's a great way to take a payment from a customer and then split out those funds behind the scenes and then pay other people. So think about a scenario where you've got a store and you're selling a product. Now that product comes from various sources. You maybe have a list of suppliers that help to provide the raw materials for that product. So you might want to pay them when you've had the transaction go through, but don't confuse the consumer with those line items. So what the chain payment allows you to do is to put all that behind the scenes and then say, oh, I want to pay the supplier this 10% of the revenue. Oh, I want to pay this supplier 5%, and set all that up and then just throw it over the wall to PayPal using the service and the helper we got in webmetrics, and then everything happens magically behind the scenes.
Exciting. So for the developers, right, I mean, how soon they can take advantage of this toolkit? I mean, what are the plans around the webmetrics? I mean,
great question. So right now the webmetrics tool itself is in beta 2, and you can download it for free. It's going to be a free tool, and you go to www.microsoft.com/web/webmatrix and then click on the download button. It's very easy to install and set up. Then on the helper itself, we've got that in beta as well, and we're working on that at the moment, and we'll have a version out hopefully by the time this video has been released. So you'll be able to go to my blog, certainly jamessenior.com, and find the links there. And then what we're doing, we're actually releasing it in an open source project, so you can download the source, see what's happening behind the scenes, also contribute issues back and feedback perhaps, and we'll be working on it in that fashion.
Yeah. So to say, I mean, now this will help the individual developers to take care of the payment functionality through PayPal, right? I mean,
It makes it a lot easier just to add that functionality in a few lines of code. That's what we've really tried to make it super, super simple for people to go and do.
Exciting. Cool. Thank you very much, James. It's our pleasure you being here.
Yep,
right?
it's great
Thanks
to
a lot,
be here.
And you being a great sponsor for us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, James.